Hi everyone, and welcome to the Leo July 2021 Love Connection reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot and Meaning-Based Spiritual Coaching Services. I am Lauren. Welcome. So this is one of 3 monthly readings I do for each sign that focuses on connection. So we focus on self-connection, which is looking at your internal, unique, authentic self and connecting directly to that. We have our spiritual connection reading, which is looking at how you connect your unique, internal, authentic self with your external environment. And then we have this reading, which is how you connect your unique, internal self through the energy of love to others' unique, internal, authentic selves. We're also going to take a look at romantic love and just the energy of love in general. Now, all of my readings do utilize the Triad of Engagement, which is a coaching tool I have developed that helps show the importance of working with the principles of curiosity, courage, and contemplation, and how when applied together, they can help unlock awareness of self and its importance in the external, basically collective everything, the collective experience. So I'm going to start and jump right into your reading, Leo, for all of my July Leos and August Leos, since we're almost in August. My apologies for this late reading. Happy birthday. My husband is actually a July Leo. I love him to death, and I think I love all Leos. I've got a few Leos in my life. And they are all just wonderful people. You guys are all very special lights that shine from the heart into the world. All right, so the first card I'm going to pull is going to be focused around the concept of curiosity. So this is kind of an opening look, an opening theme to keep in mind as you think of the energy, think of your relationship to the energy of love moving into July, but now into August. So we have strength, which is so ironic because the card in the major arcana in the tarot for you, Leo, is strength. So you have the sun is one card, and then you have strength, which really embodies the kind of lion quality of Leo. Now this card says strength comes from many sources. Staying strong brings confidence, conviction, and a balanced body, mind, and soul. Spirit has its own unique and beautiful way of replenishing your soul with strength on a continual basis. You're never really alone, as we're always with you. A beautiful reminder that we're not just drawing from our own personal strength. We always have this additional tie to spirit, to our direct connection to source energy, and specifically through the energy of love. So love is really an energy that is a give and take energy. When we feel in flow with love, it's that we are equally giving through the energy of love and support, and we are equally open to receiving the same from others. Now, oftentimes we find a place in our life where we're thinking about curiosity, and we're working with the underlying principles of curiosity, which are optimism, openness, receptivity. And we're bringing this to areas where we are connected from the energy of love. It can take strength to, what I always find is needed in love is this element of vulnerability. To really be able to feel engaged with love, we have to engage with it from a place of vulnerability, where we might have to put ourselves in a situation where we have to trust that if we authentically express ourselves, that another will love us for who we are, or hear us when we're trying to, let's say, speak our truth through love, and vice versa, that we have to also then return that energy to understand that when another comes to us from a place of love and is trying to express some aspect of self, that they are equally tapping into as much strength and courage, and that we should respect that. But what I love here is that it says strength comes from many sources. So when we're thinking about being open and receptive and kind of optimistic, where perhaps have you, pertaining to love and support from both the others and kind of the external environment, meaning the divine, where have you felt that maybe it was all on you? That you didn't have the support system that you needed? That when I think about it, it says staying strong brings confidence, conviction, and a balanced body, mind, and soul. Where perhaps have you felt that the strength has all had to come from you to bring that confidence and conviction? I mean, you guys are Leo, so you're kind of expected to bring that. But sometimes that can be hard, right? Because it does mean being vulnerable. And a lot of times people don't understand that confidence comes with this shadow side of, people may laugh at you or almost want to bring you down, try to humble you, try to humble that confidence because they're jealous of it. And then you leave walking away still trying to show this confident, lovely, lovable Leo self, but in reality, somebody else's words or actions have wounded you. And where has that kind of tapped on your strength? Your ability to always come from a heart-centered place. Leo, that is one of your superpowers. You are ruled by the heart, you're ruled by the sun. So you are all about creativity, shining from this place of love, and really about illumination, that you have this ability to shine outwards and to illuminate for others as much as you illuminate for yourself. And I think for you, there are times when you might feel alone, kind of like the sun in our universe is the biggest element, and anything that gets close to it can kind of get burned up. And it's kind of a standalone figure. It's not grouped in with the planets. It's not really grouped in with anything else. It's the sun. It's our source energy. But what can happen is that you can fall into that feeling of maybe feeling almost used by others when it comes to the energy of love, which is give and take, that maybe you feel like you are the sun to your family or to your place of work, and that you're constantly shining and radiating and having to empower others, but you don't have that return to you. And what you have to realize is that where real strength comes from is not the knowledge of being able to not kind of keeping tabs on like, well, I did this for you and you need to, give this back to me. It's more about realizing that at any given point when we feel fatigued, when we feel like we almost can't rise to the challenge of meeting who we were designed to be, which you were designed to be these beautiful beacons of light, these little spotlights in specific areas all throughout our greater collective experience, that when you feel that perhaps you're not getting that receptiveness from others, that needed support, that you always can connect to the divine. That there's this unending source of energy, the energy of love that connects and runs through everything. And all you have to do is remember that. And all you have to do is remember your importance in continuing to have your ability to shine. That in just being you, you are fulfilling a part of your role, a part of your purpose. Okay, so that's kind of your opening energy, your opening point of curiosity is, where do you feel right now that do you feel that you are kind of left alone or left out in the cold, so to speak? Or that you're giving, is there some aspect of your life that you feel that you're giving too much? You're being forced to shine so much, but you don't have the resources to keep kind of burning as fuel. And where can you tap back in to remind yourself that you have a connection to source? You have an internal flame that's always lit by source spirit. And where perhaps if you forgot that you have the power to tap into that and ignite it from within yourself, that you don't need another's fuel to do that. Okay, now I'm going to, oh, actually, wrong deck. I'm going to pull a card for either your energy in relation to love and possibly where you're experiencing a block, or some aspect of basically where you're experiencing a block with some other person that you're working with the energy of love in connection with this month. And we'll take a look and see kind of where we can navigate around that. Okay, Leo, so we have 2 cards that came out. And another card that also harnesses your energy. So we have 2 cards. We have Queen of Wands and 2 of Wands. And really what I'm getting here is there's this, so the Queen of Wands does harness some Leonine energy. It's a card of someone who acts from a place of passion. It's almost a card too of, there's always a symbol of the black cat in most depictions of the Queen of Wands. And so there's this element of almost being able to kind of harness your passions, but almost in a magical way, that really showing the power of when you work with your passion that comes directly from source spirit, that there is this quality of being able to manifest almost anything, anywhere. In fact, in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, she is actually, instead of holding the sunflower like she is here, and actually I think she is holding the sunflower, but you see additional sunflowers growing behind her in a desert. And it really denotes being able, again, to grow what you want, where, even in the harshest of environments. Kind of harnessing this magic. And then we have the 2 of Wands. And the 2 of Wands is a card that speaks to getting a chance to kind of choose between 2 visions for the next, for yourself, for your life. But Wands are from, taking action from a place of passion. So it's kind of like you're at this crossroads of, what do you see for yourself? What is this vision? What is this next vision for you? And I can take these cards 2 ways. If this is not directly pertaining to you with another person, and this is, actually I've just been told, I've heard, no, this is regarding somebody else. So there is this quality here of making a choice around a Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands energy. So this is somebody who kind of is working from a place of passion, is harnessing themselves. Now this could be you, or this could be the other person that you're working with. But you're sitting with this decision. You're sitting with kind of seeing. And I like how, in this picture, it looks like he's kind of up on top of a seawall, or perhaps on top of, parapet for his castle or home, and he's looking down, almost trying to get a lay of the land. And to try to figure out, okay, what is my vision? What am I going to start taking action towards? What's the decision I'm going to make with regards to this Queen of Wands character in my life? So I'm going to pull some additional clarifier cards here right now to see kind of what you're dealing with. So I'm going to pull some cards for the 2 of Wands to see what you guys are deciding about, what this new vision for your future entails, and why it involves a decision at this point. The 2s generally in the tarot denote some type of decision that needs to be made, or they denote something that kind of almost needs to be balanced, an aspect of self. So let's see. What does Leo need to know about the 2 of Wands? What new vision for themselves are they deciding about? Okay, so we have 4 of Coins and King of Swords. The truth of where you're holding yourself back. Or what I'm seeing here as clarification is that there's this element of being truthful with yourself as to either where you're holding yourself back or where you need to invest. The Four of Coins is a card of having some stability in the tangible world, but wanting to hold on to them, not wanting to invest them, not wanting to take the risk. It's a card that can actually, as much as it can equally be one of stability, it can also be one of stagnation. I mean, if you notice in this depiction, it's a stack of coins out in the cold tundra under a, kind of makeshift tent. And so it looks like somebody has almost like left them there and is not doing anything with them. And then we have the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is a very powerful energy. This is an energy of someone who speaks the truth. Someone who, this is the person that you would end up going to, a friend or a role model figure where you know that they always come from this place of very centered truthfulness, and you would maybe come with a question that you can't answer for yourself and you know that they'll tell you the truth, but tell you the truth from a place of balanced fairness, and from a place of really having a good understanding and perspective of kind of the greater having just a greater understanding of all aspects of what you're asking the question about. And so there is this element that I think right now you guys are kind of sitting with this energy of trying to make this decision, of trying to see, okay, I know I need to make a decision for my future, for where I'm going from this point forward, but I'm not quite sure how to invest, or I'm holding myself back. I'm holding myself back on a financial level from fully investing. And there's this quality of either it's you yourself coming in with this kind of King of Swords energy, or somebody else's. And I kind of get that feeling that this is somebody else coming in to say, okay, buddy, it's time. Either make the decision or don't, but I need you to invest. So this would look very similar, or this would look like a tangible example. You've been in a long-term relationship with somebody and they're not committing. They're not, like, you're waiting for somebody to propose and they're not. And finally, you get fed up and you say, look, buddy, you either invest in this relationship, and in doing that, we get engaged and we move forward, or we don't. Or this could look like you guys making the decision to move in together, or buy a house together, or you name it. Whatever is a big, high-level commitment where you're currently hanging on to resources and you're not taking and making a decision to take action from a place of passion. So I do feel right now that this is a block for you guys, for Leo. That there's an energy here that you guys have been kind of holding yourself back from making a decision, and from maybe the reason why you've been holding yourself back, or if the energies are reversed and the other person's been holding themselves back, is that there's this element of they don't feel strong enough. Maybe you feel depleted, and you're like, I've been doing everything. I've been taking on so much, and I just don't feel that level of confidence right now that I'm strong enough to make this investment, to move towards this new kind of new vision for my life. But what's going to happen is that because you're waiting and because you're not perhaps working with spirit, there's going to be the other person in your life is going to come to you with some harsh truth about where you're not investing, where you're not taking action, where you're not actually, this is kind of the card too that for me kind of denotes that, like, one foot out the door of like, I'm hanging on to my stuff. Another person's like, hey, so I know you said you're going to move in and you're going to pay half the rent. That's cool. And you're like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. And in reality, you're like, maybe not. Maybe I'm not gonna actually do this. So the Queen of Wands here is the other person. This is, I mean, it could also be, again, if it's reversed, sometimes energy is reversed. So if you're the Queen of Wands and you're waiting for the other person, you're the one delivering the hard truth. You're the one delivering the, hey, it's time for us to take action towards this new step for us. Then this is really, again, whoever this person is, whether it's yourself or the other person, they're a person who really is somebody who takes action from a place of passion. They're used to doing. They're used to being able to create. So for them, they're coming from this place of, come on, like, I'm ready to go. Why aren't you? So I'm going to get a couple more clarifier cards for the Queen of Wands. Now, when we're in this part of the reading, we're really focusing on the concept of courage and the strength and courage it takes to make decisions, to take action from a place of authenticity. So we have to kind of keep in mind here that this is really, when we're thinking about taking action, we're really tapping into faith that we have to follow what's authentic to us. And that might mean having to deliver a harsh truth to somebody, to say, I'm ready to move towards, to make a decision on a goal for myself. And I need to express that I need you to either invest or not. And that's having the courage to take action on behalf of your own authentic needs. Now, this could be vice versa. The other person could express this to you, and you might have to tell them, well, you know what, I'm not ready to make that decision. And that's authentic to you in that moment. So this is where when we work with courage, we are really tapping into self-awareness, authenticity, realizing that there are specific times for us to take specific actions, and then there are times when there are not. And so perhaps you have somebody else who is ready to make a bigger commitment or to move toward, I mean, this could be something where the other person wants to move out of the geographic location you're in right now, or sell the house to have money to travel the world for a year. And you're like, wow, like that sounded cool on paper, but what, now that it's come down to it, I don't want to do that. And the harsh truth might have to be that you're telling this Queen of Wands, yeah, I thought I was ready for that, but I'm not. And, or vice versa. Maybe you're the one who's like been planning this whole thing and you're like, okay, you're on board, but then when it comes down to signing that paperwork to sell the house, your significant other's like, I just can't do this. Well, then that's a truth you guys are going to have to face together. Now, the cards that came out for the Queen of Wands, we have the Page of Coins, which is the Page of Pentacles in the traditional tarot, and we have the Six of Cups. And oh my gosh, this card has just literally been coming up for everybody. Almost every reading, no matter what reading I've done, this card has come up in some capacity. Very interesting. There's a lot of, I think, revisiting the past right now. This energy of reconnecting with our past selves, reconnecting with something emotionally illuminating from our past. And when we're looking at the Queen of Wands, the Page of Pentacles really denotes going out and working with some tangible aspect of self in the external environment, but coming from a place of this kind of childlike sense of gathering more information. So this could be a card where you would be going back to school, a card where you actually might be getting also information coming in. So this can actually denote getting a message from somebody, but it's also a card where we get to work with something on a tangible level. We get to kind of grow it. So this is like being given like the golden seed and going out and being like, what can I do with this? Let me see. Let me gather more information. Let me read a bunch of books about it. Let me try to plant it here and show it to this person and see what they tell me. And then the Six of Cups is really about again, going back in time to this emotional connection to something in your past that either ties directly to kind of your inner child or your original self, and bringing that gift of something from the past forward, or tapping into kind of nostalgia around some aspect of your past that was a time when you emotionally connected on a positive level. And so this Queen of Wands, whether it is you or the other person, is in this place right now where they're kind of rediscovering themselves. And they're gaining more information, but they're kind of in this quest of bringing back out some aspect of self and really reconnecting with who they are. So if that's you, you may be going back. This communication here may actually be, let's say, instigating, or not instigating, but kind of illuminating some aspect of self. So this could be something where, the communication of, hey buddy, like, propose to me or not, is making you kind of face this part of yourself here, this element of going back in time and like reconnecting with self and saying, ooh, okay, like, I remember when I just had one little coin instead of 4 coins, and look how far I've come. And you know what? Actually, if I invest some of my coins, I bet I can grow this even more and get out of this poverty mindset of like clinging to what I have, and realize that no, in the past I've had just a little and I went out and I grew more from that. Now this could also be where it's also bringing up memories of just kind of being this child, memories of who you were, and that might help you to decide, well, do I want to invest here? But I am getting this feeling that there is this quality of being reminded of a time in the past where you had less than you do now, and you were able to, it's almost like coming back to this childlike sense of curiosity and wonder, getting rid of all of the kind of the negative connotations that come around the 4 of Pentacles, which is stagnation and holding on and trying to be like, but I'm secure, I've got 4. I have 4 Pentacles, and this is what I have, and if I try to give away or invest any of them, it's a risk, and I might have less. And what you're being reminded of is that in the past, you did have less than you have now. And if you go back to this kind of innocent quality of the what if, go back to curiosity of just like how strong you might, it's almost like giving yourself the credit of how far you've come. How far you took this little seed, this little golden seed, and now you have might have quite a bit. 4 coins for some of us might be extreme wealth. But we're still scared to share it. We're still scared to invest part of that. And so this is really about making that change, having the courage to make the big level change. This is a big change here. There's 2 wands, 2 big life courses that you're kind of, sitting between. This is not a minor decision. This is a major decision. And so I think there's this quality of being reminded here with the energy of love of how far you've come. Spirit is here with you, and you have the strength to continue to grow more. That we can't just sit in a place of stagnation. The truth is that it's time for you to grow. And you will only grow through making this decision with a significant other in your life. Now, if you're single and you don't have a significant other, this can look like perhaps making a decision in business where you have a business partner and you're going through the same thing of, do I invest or do I not? Do I invest or do I not? Do I follow my passion and really turn into the Queen of Wands and trust that I've done this in the past and I can make more? Or do I not? And that takes strength. And to take action takes courage. But Leo, you're a sign of courage. That is your superpower. And you're being told that you can do it. You can make this decision. I have this feeling for most of you, this is Spirit telling you it's time. And you need to say yes to this opportunity. You need to say yes to investing. You need to say yes to making this change, to making this decision for moving in a new direction. Okay, I'm going to pull a card for, oh my gosh, that just came right out. I'm going to pull a card for contemplation, which is the final principle in the Triad of Engagement. And contemplation really ties curiosity and courage together, in that it gives you a chance to contemplate on the consequences of your action. Get a chance to look at where you were curious, where you chose to be courageous enough to take action, and then what happened. And then you get a chance to be able to learn from these lessons. This is where we get a chance to continually self-engage and engage with others and our external environment, because we're now an active participant in taking responsibility for what happens. Sorry guys, I had a little message pop up there. So the card that came out is time to go. So perfect, Leo. This reading just like so very clear. It's time to go. The number 45 breaking down to the number 9. And the number 9 is the culmination. It's the completion of a cycle. It's also where we get a chance to tap into the magic of all the lessons learned throughout the duration of this cycle. And now it's time to go. It's time to make that decision. You can't stay up here. You're being asked by Spirit now to help open this energy of love and to start this new chapter either with somebody, it's either with your significant other, or it's in business. This isn't something related directly to somebody else where your decision also directly impacts them. And you're being told it's time. It's time to invest. You know it. And, you know, what I love about this picture is it shows she's moving away, but it's not scary. She's like this fairy flitting off into the next chapter of her life. And this is beautiful. This is basically Spirit telling you, you have the strength, Leo, to make this decision to invest and to move towards this new vision of your life for yourself and for this other person. And that, remember, if this is you or them, at some point, to remember though that if this was you, to see how far you've come. And to take pride in that. You're a Leo. Take pride in how far you took one little golden seed and turned it into the 4 you're currently sitting with. And now have strength to know that by investing again, you're going to grow these even further. And it's all part of your spiritual development. Beautiful reading, Leo. I know it's not easy. Easier said than done, right? Yeah, just invest. Just make that decision. Say yes. But we all have to remember that we're in a continual cycle to move forward, to grow, just as much as we are always growing and changing on a physical level, and always growing and changing on a mental level, because we are challenging ourselves and we are growing through what we read and mentally ingest. We're also growing on the same level emotionally and spiritually. And when we face these kinds of moments, these kinds of challenges, this is where we actually get the chance to grow emotionally and spiritually. This is where we get to flex that muscle of self-awareness. We get to flex the muscle of facing a fear to unlock something new about ourselves. This is where we get a chance to see just why we're being asked to make this decision, what we're going to be open to, and what new part of ourselves are we going to discover. And usually when we take action from a place of authenticity, this is where we get a chance to connect also with emotional fulfillment. because we are taking pride in, again, in making a decision like this to see how far we've come and to continue that evolution. That it's not just about, okay, a hard stop. We made a choice back then. Have enough. That's it. It's about, no, now you're going to have a new challenge. Now you're being asked to grow even more. And that's where we get a chance to continue to really enjoy our lives, engage with our lives, engage with others. So when we're looking at love, this is about growing with another, growing through another, and having another there to help grow with you. And that's the give and take of the energy of love, is that we meet challenges together. We help just as much as maybe this person sharing their truth of, hey, it's time, is helping you to grow. Or vice versa, you sharing the hard truth with them that it's time to make that decision and grow. You guys are, in staying authentic and taking action from authenticity, you're not only helping yourself, but you're helping elevate that experience of another. You're helping them to continue to grow as well and to not stay stagnant. So that's how, by being aware of ourselves and working with our authentic selves, we actually also elevate the experiences of those around us and help with their growth. All right, Leo, I hope you have enjoyed this reading. I hope it's been illuminating. If you'd like to book a personal tarot reading or a one-on-one coaching session, please click on the link below to visit my website. If you are booking a personal tarot reading, if you don't see an option that works for you, there is a notes box field in the booking section where you can just type in what you're looking for or what the issue is you're working with, and I can tailor the reading specifically to work with what you're expressing. All right, have a fantastic rest of the day. Happy birthday again to all my Leos, and I hope to see you next month in your next Love Connection reading. Bye.